Matiangi has been planted deliberately by the NIS to tear up the united opposition. You can already see the tricks. Matiangi is not even going to the people. He is busy campaigning in hotels.
Ladies and gentlemen, up to the end of that clip, how many of you could notice that this is not Rigathi Gachagua speaking, but an AI generated clip? How many of you could notice that? But how many of you understood what that guy was saying? That is what I'm talking about. Despite that it is not Rigathi Gachagua speaking, the message has already been passed. And from that clip, it did not just come up out of mere coincidence. This is something that is targeting something. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to play for you a clip here by one of the known lawyers in the country, close associates of Kalonzo Musyoka, who held an interview at one of the local stations in Mount Kenya. And then, after playing the clip, I will further interpret what this gentleman, or maybe try to translate to you people what that gentleman was saying.
Matiang'i project. Yeah, thirikari.
What do you mean?
Is a state project. Toruginya hype.
Okay.
Orikana leko atwekire ati leko ari na Gen Z wa mambiro maki hype makiuga Gen Z ne leaderless, partyless, na leaderless, partyless na tribeless. Magisoka makiambiria ku hype Gen Z ni mara embrace Matiang'i. Ino ni creation ya nyamuite wa NIS. National Intelligence Service. Nigetha okay agayanie opposition.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gentleman is passing 3 clear messages. 1, Dr. King Matiang'i is a government project. 2, is also a project of Uhuru Kenyatta. 3, he's working with the NIS. Ladies and gentlemen, from Dewanjeru's explanations, he's saying that when Dr. King Matiang'i's name emerged, it was not as a result of the Gen Zs. He could be right or wrong. And that, according to him, the National Intelligence Service simply introduced Dr. King Matiang'i's name to the public on social media. For the public to buy the idea that Dr. King Matiang'i has been brought on board by the Gen Zs. That is what exactly that Ndegwa Njiru is saying. Now I started thinking, why are these things being said right, left, and center? But as I was going through the social media platforms, I realized that the conversations about these topics have started. People trying to see who to choose in case Rigathi Gachagua does not go for the presidential seat. Who to choose if given Matiang'i and Kalonzo Musyoka. And indeed, people have started the conversation. Listen to this guy.
Sasa nimeona kumekuwa na wild reactions juu hii mambo ya Ndegwa Njiru kusema that he does not trust Matiang'i. Lakini kwa hii mambo hii yenye inatokea sasa hii kwa mambo ya opposition, not nasema in division, lakini if I were to be asked, mimi personally, mimi ninge prefer Kalonzo Musyoka over Fred Matiang'i. Juu Kalonzo ni mtu akona experience ya kisiasa na base ya Kalonzo inajulikana. Base ya Kalonzo inajulikana. Na Kalonzo ashajiendie, huyo mtu ashapanda mpaka mlima. Huyo kwanza Gema block haina issue na Kalonzo Musyoka. Unaona? Kalonzo alisimama na Rigathi Gachagua wakati wa impeachment. Watu wana issue na yeye.
From that clip alone, you can tell decisions are being made, conversations have already started, and the people of Mount Kenya are already speaking about what they think is best for them and for this country. Ladies and gentlemen, on this particular video, I am fully focused on the opinion that the Mount Kenya people have towards Kalonzo Musyoka and Dr. King Matiang'i. Why? Dr. King Matiang'i or even Kalonzo Musyoka can be declared as the flag bearers. But the decision of the people of Mount Kenya it is what will make them the presidents. Whether they jointly together, like running mate and presidential candidate, or they are working separately. One as presidential candidate and the other one not even below him as a running mate. Ladies and gentlemen, Mount Kenya will play a critical role in 2027, especially the person who wins the presidential seat from the opposition side. So therefore, on this particular video, I want to take you through on some of the reasons as to why the conversations against Dr. King Fred Matiangi started recently. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my video today, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. My number is always here. For those who want to talk to me or even support the channel, feel free to do so. Benedict, thank you so much for supporting the channel. May God bless you. Any other person can always feel free to support this channel. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is not just the 2 clips that were circulating online. There's also a post that was generated and then uploaded on TikTok and various platforms on social media, showing John Methu, the senator from Nyandarua County, the closest ally of Rigathi Gachagua from Mount Kenya, saying that they don't want Dr. King Fred Matiangi at JKIA to welcome Rigathi Gachagua because Dr. King Fred Matiangi is a government mole. It might not have been said by John Methu, but already the message is out there. That's what I'm saying here. And in politics, what people hear and see matters. So what is my reason number 1 as to why this kind of messaging about Dr. King Fred Matiangi in a negative way have started? Number 1, it's the battle for the flag bearer position. Dr. King Fred Matiangi just came back from the United States of America, and he has started campaigns across the country. He has already gone to Meru, and I think on Wednesday he is heading to Kisii, but yesterday he was at Thika Greenfields. He's already positioning himself to be considered as a flag bearer in a very serious manner. Now, this flag bearer position in the opposition side, it is not just for him. Kalonzo Musyoka wants it as well, Eugene Wamalwa, and plus many other flag bearers, like also actually Rigathi Gachagua. So, ladies and gentlemen, how is it going to be possible for them to come up with a flag bearer? It must be a decision of the people of Kenya. Through the scientific methods, they're able to tell who is the most popular amongst the people. So if, for instance, Matiangi wants to win, and he wants to bring down Kalonzo Musyoka, the platform to go and bring him down is on social media, to pass the message across and create the perception to the public so that they don't like Kalonzo Musyoka. Equally, if Rigathi Gachagua or maybe Kalonzo Musyoka wants also the position, and Dr. King Fred Matiangi is a potential, the same thing will happen. So therefore, when Ndegwa Njero came out to speak, knowing very well that he is on a media platform that is listened to by the people of Mount Kenya, consciously, and then he goes ahead to apologize later on, I hear so. That was not a mistake. It was a plan. Say it and apologize. But already the message has been passed. So in a nutshell, I feel strongly that probably Dr. King Fred Matiangi could have indicated signs of becoming the favorite. And Kalonzo Musyoka probably now, through his man Ndegwa Njero, because Ndegwa Njero is not DCP, is much more of a close to Kalonzo Musyoka I see nowadays. And so the fact remains that if the message is passed, then Dr. King Fred Matiangi's name will not be considered, and eventually his popularity will go down. So here it is the battle of the big boys, where they are all creating the name to be considered as the flag bearer. I don't know whether Dr. King Fred Matiangi will retaliate, but such kind of clips will keep coming. So for me, first of all, this is a normal thing. This is a normal thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the other reason as to why I'm saying that this kind of negative circulation about Dr. King Fred Matiangi is going on is this: the political moves that he's making. Dr. King Fred Matiangi, after coming from the United States of America recently, he actually went for a rallying tour for a rally in Meru, where he was the only principal within the opposition who attended that rally. Kalonzo, despite being in the country, was not invited. But Dr. King of Fred Matiangi went ahead to even pass their greetings to them. But clearly, probably Dr. King of Fred Matiangi wanted to do the rally alone. And I understand from where he comes from, because he has not been in the country most of the time, and he has not been a politician, so he needs to create his base. He needs to understand, he needs to create a perception that everyone else has already created. So making such moves, it's very normal. So ladies and gentlemen, that isolation where he went alone does not augur well with the opposition leaders, whether he sent their greetings or not. And I'm saying this from an informed perspective. Here I do give my number, and I get messages, I get calls from all over the country. It does not augur well with the people in opposition, especially the principals. If you remember when he had an interview with Sami Githuku, Dr. King of Fred Matiangi was asked that question. Why are you acting alone as a Lone Ranger? Actually, even the Western tour he had organized alone. But because of such questions, they had to reorganize the Western tour so that they could be there as a team. Also, if you remember before Dr. King of Fred Matiangi came, Gachagua went for rallies in Kambani with Kalonzo Musyoka and other principals. They went together to the Coast region. Now, it was expected they would keep moving around together. But personally, I feel they should go independent. Let Kalonzo Musyoka move across the country. Let Gachagua do the same thing. Let everyone move so that they can create the momentum. Because William Ruto can go to 4 or 5 counties in a day and there's nothing can tell you. So therefore, it's ideal for them to consider the aspect of that. They need first to create the momentum and also be able to do one simple thing. Try and engage the people to create their popularity for them to get it easy to determine who's going to be the flag bearer. Now, the reason number 3 as to why I feel that Matiangi is being attacked as this. There are indications, very close indications, or probably a decision that has been made that Dr. King of Fred Matiangi is going with the Jubilee Party. And one thing I want to tell you is this. Rigathi Gachagua is following closely on what is happening in the Jubilee Party. Why? It's actually the most likely party to rival the DCP within the Mount Kenya region. All those people might feel that they don't want to work with Rigathi Gachagua, or who feel threatened by Rigathi Gachagua. They will shift to Jubilee to just give Jubilee a momentum. And as a result, Rigathi Gachagua's DCP will be threatened. So therefore, Rigathi Gachagua is very keen on this party. So when Dr. King of Fred Matiangi decides it is Jubilee, let us expect attacks right, left, and center. And in fact, he's lucky Rigathi Gachagua has not come out to say anything. If he comes out, things will be serious in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing I want to tell you is this. Recently, Jubilee said they are going to support Raila Amolo Odinga if he leaves President William Ruto. While in the US, Rigathi Gachagua replied. That confirms that Rigathi Gachagua is keenly following the Jubilee affairs. So therefore, the party of choice for Dr. King of Fred Matiangi can also result to some of these attacks that he's getting. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing I want to say is this. The Jubilee MPs voted against, or maybe voted in support of the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Well, during the impeachment, most members of parliament voted in support of the impeachment. And Jubilee, some of them were part of the group. And right now, as we speak, some of the Jubilee members of parliament are working with President William Ruto, including the nominated ones. That can create some perception within the opposition that how can Dr. King of Fred Matiangi be fronted by Jubilee, the same party that is working with President William Ruto? So such confusion can also be able to prompt some of these sentiments to be made by other leaders across the country. So also, it's also personal. Rigathi Gachagua wants to punish all those voted in support of the impeachment motion against him. So that means very well, if Matiangi comes to Jubilee, he also automatically becomes an enemy. Apart from just rivaling DCP, he's also becoming an enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. King of Fred Matiangi is among the most vulnerable individuals within the opposition. Why? He has served for 10 years in a government. And he worked under Uhuru Kenyatta the entire time. And he held very senior positions in Uhuru Kenyatta's government. One of them being the prefect of all, or maybe the chief cabinet secretary. And most importantly, also as an interior cabinet secretary. Such positions come with so many challenges. And that is why you hear things to do with extrajudicial killings still being connected to Dr. King Alfred Matiangi, because he has been asked these questions not once, not twice. The issues to do with Vayala, the issue to do with the Kianjokoma boys. Ladies and gentlemen, the issues to do with corruption. So when you hear this kind of sentiments being made, it's automatically from also the positions that he has served before in government. It's also clear that Uhuru Kenyatta's involvement in the previous government as a president brought some challenges. So they know by invoking his name in relation to Dr. King Alfred Matiangi's candidature, there's a group of Kenyans who will turn against Dr. King Alfred Matiangi seriously. So that is what is happening in the Kenyan politics today. But I cannot end this video by not saying that Dr. King Alfred Matiangi has solutions to this kind of attacks. Of course, the normal one is to retaliate and try to defend himself. But the most important one is this. One, it is to do what you call his campaigns well. Try and engage Kenyans constructively. From that clip of Matiangi I've just played, he knows he needs to do that. He needs to do that. Another thing he needs to do, have leaders around him who have a good picture at the grassroots. That will enable him cement his chance in that people will feel safe with him. Like Wamshomba, tick. Let him go to Rungu Kangata. Let him go to people like Ndini Nyoro. Let him go to people like Pabo Wino. Let him go to people like Edwin Sifuna. That is how he's going to ensure that he has soldiers and a positive image with the public. Because these kind of sentiments are not good. Last but not least, make very, very informed political decisions, starting from the party all the way to the running mate. I don't know what is your take, ladies and gentlemen, but in the comment section, feel free to share with me on what you think as far as Dr. King Alfred Matiangi's attacks are concerned. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abdul Mukwa.